Hey guys, Kristen here. I have recently completed 2 rounds of 30-day goal challenges with, in total 32 women. And it was glorious. It was glorious. So the process, to put this in context, is one where we spend 30 days on one goal, only one goal. And the reason I only invite the client to choose one goal is because you can get easily distracted if you have more than one goal. So let's say you say, I'm going to grow my business and lose weight. Well, one day it will be easy to just not do what's necessary to lose weight under the guise of I'm growing my business, right? I'm going to get some quick fast food because I've got some quick meetings and I've got this and this and this, or I'm going to work more on my website and not go for the walk, or, and vice versa. You could say, I'm going to just focus so much on my health today. I'm going to go on a 14-mile walk and all these things and not do the website, not go to the meetings, et cetera, et cetera. So one goal is clean and clear and doesn't allow you the chance to avoid, because so often we know exactly what to do to achieve a goal, but we avoid doing it, right? And we avoid it for lots of reasons. I listen to some of the other YouTube videos, like about feelings and discomfort, mostly discomfort. So here's what I discovered with the people who achieved their goals and those who did not. Although I will say, at the end of the day, whether a client achieves their goal or doesn't, does not is not the only metric by which you measure the success of a program, because sometimes it's only taking one step or moving 1 inch that can be exactly what's needed to eventually be able to achieve that goal, right? Or just starting to think differently about how to achieve a goal can be the difference between eventually achieving it and not, right? It doesn't always have to be that within the 30-day frame, beginning to end, goal started, goal ended, achieved. Okay, but here, as I've been doing some reflection, because I'm going to be offering this again and I want to fine tune it as always, I want to tweak and shift and change to benefit those who participate, is a key differentiator between those who completed the goal they set out for. Of course, they chose the goal, I did not choose it for them, and those who did not. And again, no shame on people who did not a problem. There's still self-awareness that occurred. But pretty much everybody started this way, right? And you know how I know that? They signed up for the program. They paid for the program. They put time in their calendar to come to our live coaching calls. So they were willing to work on this goal. They were willing to take a step in this direction, right? Very important. If you're unwilling, forget it, right? There's no need to even go one more step toward the goal. But the difference was, once willing, then you need to make a commitment. And you need to make the commitment every single day. In some cases, several times a day. One person was going to have 2 alcoholic drinks a week, so she needed to make that commitment every day to herself. I have committed to the 2 drinks. I am not going to have one today because I didn't pre-plan that. Several people committed to walking goals. So you might be willing to get up a little bit earlier and willing to put the tennis shoes on, but you have to be committed to going outside and walking in total 120 miles this month, or 80 miles this month, or 100 miles this month. It took far more than willingness to get to the finish line, right? One client who was going to be painting every single day, her life circumstances changed almost immediately after we began the goal, but her commitment did not. So while things shifted and the month didn't roll out the way she planned for it to roll out, it wasn't just willingness to do it. In fact, here's what happens. It's a circle. She was willing to come up with a goal and willing to take the step and invest in herself. And then she was committed to the goal, every single day committed. And then when it wasn't going how she wanted it to be going, or intended for it to be going, she was willing to get creative about how she could maintain the commitment. See what I'm saying? Willingness goes hand in hand with commitment, but willingness alone will not have you cross the finish line. At least very infrequently will it. But commitment with willingness will. What are you willing to step into? What version of you are you willing to grow and step into? And then how will you commit to it? What will you do? What actions will you take? What thoughts will you think? What feelings will you generate to remain committed? Kind of a good exercise.